Hello YouTube, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. So I am wearing a scarf that was a birthday gift from one of my favorite people on the planet. And so I wanted to wear that just as a change of pace. So right now the time is approximately 10:58 p.m. and the current date is Monday, February 1st, 2016. So, as I mentioned in my most recent video, which is still in the queue, it has yet to be uploaded, but it's about the upcoming Oracle of Dreams at Catland in Brooklyn, Bushwick, Brooklyn, on Sunday, February 7th, 2016. So, one of the things that I wanted to do was start catching up on some videos. And those of you that have been very patient, I appreciate it. A lot has been going on. It's amazing to me that in spite of taking this sabbatical from leading group metaphysical classes and this sabbatical from participating in metaphysical workshops, in energy healing workshops, participating in group rituals, I'm busier than ever. And, you know, I must confess, sometimes I'm like, am I really this busy? And all I need to do is open up my appointment calendar and it's like, yes, Robert, you really are that busy. And last month was just so much going on. So many great things, some not so good things. But for the most part, it was a beautiful month, and it was one of my best birthday months ever. So I am looking forward to continuing this cycle of, yes, the good stuff is going to continue. So the reason why I'm wearing this scarf, aside from the fact that it was a birthday gift from one of my favorite people, is because when she and I got together yesterday, I shared with her something that I had received. Now, those of you who have been catching up on my videos, you know that I am absolutely enamored by the Cleopatra's Daughter series of novels written by Stephanie Dray. And I already created both a YouTube video and a blog post about the first novel in the series, Lily of the Nile. And I created a blog post on my WordPress blog and a video on the second one in the series, Song of the Nile. And I knew that I was going to create a two-part video about the third and final one in the series, Daughters of the Nile. What I didn't share with all of you in that part one video of Daughters of the Nile was that I instinctively felt that I was going to create a video in between Daughters of the Nile Part 1 and Daughters of the Nile Part 2. And sure enough, it happened. So one day I received, you know, when it comes to Facebook, I actually do like it when people send me messages before they send me a Facebook friend request, because so many times, you know, over the years I've needed to actually unfriend people, either because I never heard from them, or because they were so keen on keeping in touch with me via Facebook and then they never kept in touch with me via Facebook, or it got to the point where it was just like, you know, I just didn't want to see their face anymore because they were radiating a lot of negative energy, or they seemed to like, you know, write things and share things that I found very depressing or very frustrating or very disempowering. And I'm like, why do I want to be associated with that person? So I would unfriend them. So, and something dropped, so pardon me. So that was one of those things, you know, and it was just like, okay. So I received a friend request from Adam Dray. And he introduced himself, told me that he's Stephanie Dray's husband, and that both he and she and he, both the Drays, I'll make it easier, the Drays loved my videos about her novels, her Cleopatra series of novels. and they wanted to send me a care package as an expression of thankfulness, gratitude, fun, etc. And I was like, what? I was just overjoyed. I was beyond excited, beyond thrilled, and I was just like, wow, I can't even put into words. So this video is serving two purposes. Number one, it is an acknowledgement of gratitude and praise to Stephanie Dray and her husband Adam Dray for sending me this care package. And number two, it's also a video response because there were some things that Stephanie Dray had written to me in a note, which I will not share. But I am going to show you the note because it's super cool. And I'll rather show you the stationery because it's super cool. And I was just overjoyed with the whole thing. So there are things that I'm going to share in this video that are part me just expressing gratitude and praise for Stephanie Dray and her husband Adam Dray for being so willing to share this stuff with me and give me these beautiful Goddess Grace gifts. And also as a way of just responding to some of the things that Stephanie had written in the note and in the other things. So, okay, so I'm going to take, and by the way, she actually sent me a package. This is the package. I'm not going to show the front because it has her address on it and mine. You know, but how cool is that? It was not from a P.O. box. It was from actually her address, where she lives. I'm like, wow, cool. Yeah, I got very excited. I was just like, I love this. So, yeah, so I'm going to unveil these things one at a time. And, you know, well, this is the good stuff. I'm trying to be like, you know, clever and like, okay, everything's out of here. Okay. So first of all, let me show you this beautiful piece of stationery. Purple. This is like a deep, rich amethyst, and the card is the same color as the envelope. It matches, you know. And I love that she used purple and silver. Silver is a very well-known color associated with the moon. And, you know, for those of you that have read the Cleopatra Cellini, the Cleopatra's Daughter series of novels, you know that the main character's name is Selene. She's named after the Greek goddess of the full moon. And she is, in spirit, a daughter of the ancient Egyptian goddess more commonly known as Isis. In fact, Isis, or Isis, is what the ancient Greeks called Oset. So it's and of course, Oset, Isis, Isis, she is also a full moon goddess. So purple is a lesser known color associated with the full moon. So that she used purple and silver makes me especially happy. I'm like, oh, she knows her shit. I love it. So I just love this. Like I said, I will not share what she wrote. Adam said I could. Stephanie said I could. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep it just for me. Although I did share it with my life partner and was the person with whom I spent time yesterday. So there are people that have read this. But, you know, as far as like the public at large, sorry. Some things I do keep private, believe it or not. So she sent me these stickers. And this is from the cover of Song of the Nile. And I love the purple and the silver, of course. And she sent me, you know, postcards with little information on the front. And I'm keeping the last one. And I'm actually going to give I'm going to give one of these with the sticker to somebody else that also has a connection to the goddess Isis. And then I'll keep the last one for myself. Now, look at this keychain. I'm like, yeah. See, now, and it's funny, I've been waiting to do this video so I can put this on my keychain. It's so funny because, you know, I have, like, well, I'll just show you. So I have, like, several keychains together. So this was a gift from my life partner, and it has 3 amethysts, and it's a dream catcher. and then this was a gift from a good friend who's a client, and she gave that in honor of Mr. Prosperity. This was a gift from somebody who used to come to a lot of my group prosperity class. This is Coach, by the way, okay? But it's a $sign, it's like Mr. Prosperity. And then so it's like I have several keychains that are together, and now I'm going to add this one, so it's going to look like, something like this. So I'm very excited about this. I got to put this someplace for a moment. Yeah, I'll put it on top of the goddess deck, okay. So she also sent me, now it's so funny because she sent me a bookmark for Lily of the Nile. So when I reread Lily of the Nile, I'll use this bookmark. She sent me one for Song of the Nile. So when I reread that one, I'll use this bookmark. And then she sent me this. Now this is one of the video reply portions of this video. And yes, it is from the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And it depicts Nacht's wife. And I'm actually going to read the back of this. From 1907 to 1937, the graphic section of the Egyptian expedition of the Metropolitan Museum made precise colored copies, facsimiles, of decorations found in tombs in the cemeteries of Western Thebes across the Nile from modern Luxor. Among the nearly 300 facsimiles on display in the Egyptian galleries is one depicting Nacht and his wife with offering bearers. Our bookmark is based on this facsimile, copied from a wall painting in the tomb of Nacht, New Kingdom, Egypt, circa 1400 to 1390 BC, or these days BCE. And it was funded by the Rogers Fund in 1915. Now, here's what's interesting. So, those of us that have been reading the Cleopatra series of novels, we know that Cleopatra Selene, the daughter of Cleopatra, is a daughter of Isis. Isis, the goddess, has blessed her with Heka, which is the ancient Egyptian word for magic. Now, what Stephanie Dray does not know yet is that for the last 4 years, I get together with somebody that I hold in a humongously, enormously high esteem. She is a fellow professional psychic. She has availed herself of my psychic services, and she was one of the few people that when she would tell me she could not participate in my Divine Prosperity events, I would actually get upset. Like, her energy is that spectacular and that stellar and that beautiful and that powerful and that sacred that when she couldn't come to one of my events, I was like, oh man. The first time it happened, I understood, but I almost cried. I was like, oh, she can't come. But over the years, I understand if she can't make it, I know it's an important reason. So, that person and I, Stephanie Dray, it just so happens that she and I get together the last Sunday of January to celebrate our birthdays. She is a January Aquarius. I'm a January Capricorn. My birthday is January 8th. And we get together, and the first place we go is to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And every time we go to, as she puts it, follow the pharaoh. And we go to the Sackler Wing, and we spend time in front of the Temple of Dender, which was erected in honor of this goddess Set, Isis. Although the other story I've heard about the Temple of Dender is that when Rome occupied Egypt, Augustus Caesar created it in honor of Cleopatra. Now I wonder if it was actually Cleopatra's daughter Selene, but I'll find out soon enough. So that you enclosed this, Stephanie Dray, is so cool and so wonderful, and I keep shaking it, so I'm making my video thing crazy. So I want to thank you for doing that. This was a lovely surprise, and now that I've made this video, I can start using the bookmark, because I was waiting to make this video before using the bookmark. And then she also included a bookmark featuring red hot and risque stories from the Roaring '20s. It stings so sweet. It's funny because I've always been fascinated by flappers. You know, the 1920s intrigues me in a lot of ways, so I'm looking forward to checking out this entire anthology, or novel. I'm not even sure what it is. But whatever it is, I'm going to get it. So yeah. So now, and she also included a novel that she wrote under her other pen name, Stephanie Dray. And I am going to read... I'm not going to read this, but it's funny because she did mention this in the note. Now, here's what you... Now, it's number 98. So, Stephanie Dray, for the record, I've been collecting the Nocturne novels for years. I actually think that I stopped just before this one. Or for all I know, I might even have this one. It's been a while since I've read any of them. I actually went back and started going to different websites to find the first in the series. But I think I have the first 70 to 80 novels on the Nocturne line. And I happen to love paranormals. You know, I've always loved paranormals. And so I'm looking forward to reading this. And so you giving me this was totally on the mark on your part. And that it has connections to ancient Greece is no coincidence. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for giving me this. This was a lovely gift, and it was a beautiful surprise. And you're reminding me to like get back into this line of novels. So I'm going to start catching up. I have a lot of catching up to do, let me tell you. So I loved all of these gifts, and they were so timely and so appropriate, and I was overjoyed. I was utterly overjoyed because I was just like, wow. You know, it's so funny because, you know, I'm touched. I mean, it was the furthest thing from my mind. You know, I mean, when I make these videos, I'm making them because I'm enjoying making the videos. I mean, that's really been the whole thing. It's like I love making videos on YouTube, and I love seeing the number of views of my videos increasing, and I love how some of my videos have more than 100 views, and some of them don't even have 10. And I love how it seems like every week or so my number of subscribers increases, and I'm already past 1,200 views. I've already passed 1,250 views, and by the time all these videos go up, if not before the end of this week or this month, I'll have more than 1,300 views, maybe even more than that. I love the things that I talk about. I love that I have subscribers that have these great ideas, and they're like, oh yeah, I read about this, and next thing I know, there's a video series born. So I'm really happy with making YouTube videos, and as I said from the very beginning, I'm going to keep making YouTube videos until I no longer enjoy it. And goddess forbid that ever happens, but if it does, you know, if years go by and, you know, I haven't made a video in 5 years, then, you know, I just stopped enjoying it, you know. But, and all of you have been very understanding with my schedule, because let's face it, I have a very busy schedule, and sometimes it's busier than other times. Pardon me. Oh, so good. I'm one of those people, I can drink coffee whenever, and I will sleep. But this is really good. I love combining dark roast and medium. I love combining different coffees, really. I do have a preference for dark roast, because dark roast is richer and bolder, and, you know, and I'm Cuban, so it's not, you know, I cannot drink a weak cup of coffee. That to me is crap. I'm always amazed that I've had bad coffee in Manhattan. I'm like, what's going on in the universe? That, you know, it's like, did the TARDIS freak out again, and it affected somebody's coffee making machine in Manhattan? But I think I burned this a little bit, because this is actually my second cup, and I was using a percolator. I have a coffee grinder now. Ooh, I love it. It's from Starbucks. Mm. Anyway, so Stephanie Dray, again, thank you so much. Adam Dray, thank you again so much. I love my goddess graced gifts. I love the beautiful surprises. It made me so happy to receive this package. And I completely understand that it took a little while. I mean, the holidays are pretty busy for a lot of people, so, but please know that I love all of them. I am enjoying them. And you know, this actually, it's funny because, again, you know, as I said earlier, intuitively I got the sense that I would be making a video that would be in between Daughters of the Nile Part 1 and Daughters of the Nile Part 2. I just didn't know what it was or why. And then when I received this message via Facebook from Adam Dray, Stephanie Dray's husband, I was like, oh, that's why. So, yeah, my psychic powers were on overdrive during the holidays. I know it's burnt, but it's coffee. And it's coffee that has real sugar and real cream. So, yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I know I have that puss on my face, and I apologize, but I'm enjoying the coffee, for the most part. Anyway, so, again, thank you, Stephanie Dray. Thank you, Adam Dray. And thank you, YouTube, because, you know, without YouTube, I wouldn't have connected with some really cool people named Adam and Stephanie Dray. So, yeah, you know. And for those of you who are already subscribing to my YouTube channel, and for those of you who, and it's so funny because, you know, not for nothing, recently somebody said, you know, you have a lot of videos. I haven't caught up yet. And I tell them, well, you know, you have a chance to catch up. Well, this 2.5 week period that I'm not going to make any videos. Then they get busy doing other things, and then it's like, oh, Robert made more videos. I can't catch up. Well, I told you, bitches. It's like, hey, this is the period to watch the videos. I'm not going to make any videos during this time. Catch up. No, but seriously, I am very happy with my gifts, my gratitude gifts, my birthday gifts, my surprise gifts. I'm really, really happy. And I'm probably going to stop here now. Part of me wants to make 1 or 2 more videos, but I'm going to relax for the rest of the night since it's after 11 o'clock. I hope I included the time in this video. If I didn't, well, it's now at 22 minutes and 40 seconds, and right now it is 11:20 p.m. and the current date is still Monday, February 1st. 2016. I've had no new subscribers between my video about the Oracle of Dreams at Catland on Flushing Avenue in Bushwick, Brooklyn on Sunday, February 7th, 2016 from 1 to 8 p.m. and this video, which is entitled Thank You, Stephanie Dray. You know, I will be catching up on videos very soon. And I have several other videos that are in the mental queue. They're not in the physical queue because I haven't recorded them yet, but they're coming. And I also want to review the other 2 decks that I received as birthday gifts. I did a review of the Mythological Goddess Tarot, which was one of my Yule gifts. So there are 2 decks that I received as birthday gifts, and I'll be reviewing those soon, definitely within the next 24 to 48 hours. So, of course, by the time that this video is uploaded, you'll be like, he already has it. So what is he talking about? So now you know the behind-the-scenes thing. But anyway, YouTube, have a beautiful night. I wish all of you many blessings. If you are also a fan, or as I have been called by the Drays, a super fan of Stephanie Dray, I would love to hear from you in the comments, and feel free to share with me some of your favorite novels by Stephanie Dray, whether it's Stephanie Dray or Stephanie Draven, or if she has any other pen names I don't know about yet. And also, if you if you are reading the Cleopatra's Daughter series of novels, I would love to hear from you, because really, I want to hear how much you're enjoying them as much as I am. And if you have a negative comment, please, I mean, part of me wants to say, if you have a negative comment, don't hold back. But honestly, I'm going to be really honest. I would rather you not make a negative comment about Stephanie Dray or about what she writes. Because you know what? I remember when Erykah Badu said this in her live album, and she said, "Now keep in mind that I'm an artist, and I'm sensitive about my shit." And you know what? Stephanie Dray, also known as Stephanie Draven, is an artist. She is a written word artist. And I'm sure she's sensitive about her shit too. I'm sensitive about my shit, and I'm a very creative person. I'm an artist in my own way. And you know what? I would rather not receive, or to read a negative comment about her works. You want to make a negative comment about me? Well, I'd rather not read that either, but hey. A lot of people will do that on the internet. It's like, oh, well, it's the internet. I can write whatever I want. But seriously, if you're not a fan, everybody has his or her own favorite authors, and I understand that. I do understand that. I'm an easy critic, and there are very few books. I think in my life there have only been maybe 5 books that I've read that I just could not finish. It's crazy, because I'm one of those people, I'm going to read this, I'm going to finish this book if it's the last thing I do. And yet there are some books that just, I don't know whether it was because of how they were written or the topic or whatever it was just like, I couldn't finish it. And I'd rather not mention any authors or any novels. Stephanie Dray is not one of them, by the way. But I do remember, I actually forgot. And you know what? This video is approaching half an hour, so it's been long enough as it is. But YouTube, thank you again. Stephanie Dray, thank you again. Adam Dray, thank you again. I am thoroughly enjoying Daughters of the Nile. I have actually passed the beginning of part 2, the growing, if I remember correctly. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the novel. I'm savoring it because I know this is the last one. I'm not going to be reading the rest of it at night, tonight or whatever, but I am savoring it. It's like I will read it literally sometimes every other day. Or what I do read, I'll read if I'm on the bus, and I'll read for a little bit because it's going to be a short bus ride or a short subway ride. But make no mistake, I'm just like, oh man, this is so good. So yes. So thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Stephanie Dray. Thank you, Adam Dray. And good night.